My child, before you continue with your day, before you tell yourself that this feeling will eventually pass, before you distract yourself one more time, stay with me, just for a few moments, because there is something I need to reveal to you today. Not tomorrow, not when life feels easier. Today, you may not understand it yet, but there is a reason your heart led you here. This is not an accident, and neither is what you have been feeling lately. My child, something has changed inside you. You have noticed it. Perhaps you have tried to ignore it. Perhaps you have convinced yourself that you are simply tired. Maybe you blamed your work, your responsibilities, your schedule, your stress. But even after resting, something still feels different. Even after accomplishing everything you needed to do, the emptiness remains. Even after spending time with people you love, part of your heart still feels strangely alone. My child, I know exactly what you have been carrying. Not because someone told me, but because I have never taken my eyes off you. I know the quiet sighs you never explain. I know the moments when you stare into the distance without knowing why. I know the evenings when you sit in silence, wondering why nothing seems to satisfy you anymore. I know the mornings when you wake up already feeling emotionally exhausted, even though nothing terrible has happened. You have asked yourself questions that you never spoke aloud. Why do I feel empty? Why can't I enjoy the things I used to enjoy? Why do I feel like something is missing? What is wrong with me? My child, listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you may completely change the way you see yourself. There is not something wrong with you. There is something happening within you. Those are not the same. The world quickly labels every uncomfortable feeling as a problem to eliminate. Stay busy, watch something, buy something, scroll a little longer, keep yourself distracted. Anything to avoid sitting quietly with your own heart, because silence makes people uncomfortable. But my child, silence has never frightened me. In fact, some of the deepest conversations I have ever had with my children began in silence, not in noise, not in success, not in celebration, but in those quiet moments when they finally admitted, something doesn't feel right. My child, please don't leave yet, because before this message is over, I want to show you something you may have never realized before. You have been trying to understand your emptiness by looking around you. You searched your circumstances, your finances, your relationships, your career, your health. You wondered if changing something outside of you would finally quiet what you feel inside. Sometimes it helped, for a while. A new experience distracted you. A compliment lifted your mood. A vacation refreshed your mind. A purchase gave you excitement. But eventually, the same quiet feeling returned, not because those things were bad, but because they were never designed to fill the place that now feels empty. My child, there is a difference between being tired and being hungry. There is a difference between needing rest and needing something your soul has been missing. Many people confuse the two. They feed the body while the heart quietly continues to hunger. They entertain the mind, while the soul waits patiently to be heard. They fill every hour with activity, while an empty place inside them keeps whispering, there must be more than this. My child, have you noticed how this feeling often appears when everything becomes quiet? When the television is off, when the phone is finally put down, when the room grows still, that is usually when the questions return. Not because silence creates emptiness, but because silence reveals what noise has been hiding. My child, you have not become weaker. You have become more aware, and awareness can feel uncomfortable before it becomes beautiful. Please stay with me, because what I am about to reveal next may explain why this feeling has stayed with you longer than you expected. Perhaps this emptiness is not the enemy you have been trying to escape. Perhaps It has been trying to tell you something all along, and what it has been trying to tell you may become one of the greatest discoveries of your life. My child, stay with me. Do not let your mind wander just yet, because what I am about to tell you may challenge everything you have believed about this feeling inside you. For so long, you have treated this emptiness like an enemy. You have tried to outrun it. You have tried to silence it. You have tried to replace it. Every time it appeared, you searched for something to make it disappear. Another task, another conversation, another achievement, another distraction, another reason to stay busy. And for a little while, it worked. The feeling became quieter. You laughed. You smiled. You accomplished what needed to be done. People looked at you and thought, they seem happy. They're doing well. They've got everything together. But then, the day became quiet again. The room became still. Your thoughts slowed down. And there it was, the same emptiness, waiting patiently. My child, please hear me carefully. The emptiness is not following you because you have failed. It keeps returning because it has not finished speaking. Every feeling carries a message. Joy tells you something. Peace tells you something. Grief tells you something. Loneliness tells you something. And so does emptiness. The question is not, how do I get rid of it? The better question is, what has it been trying to tell me? My child, the world teaches you to numb every uncomfortable feeling. If you're anxious, escape. If you're lonely, scroll. If you're empty, consume something. More entertainment, more noise, more success, more approval, more possessions, more experiences, always more. Because the world believes that enough more will eventually silence the ache within you. But my child, has it? Think about the last few months. How many times have you hoped that the next thing would finally satisfy your heart? Perhaps you thought, if I reach this goal, I'll finally feel complete. If I earn more, I'll finally feel secure. If this relationship works, I'll finally feel whole. If life becomes easier, I'll finally feel at peace. Yet every destination became another beginning. Every finish line created another race. Every answered prayer revealed another question. Not because your dreams were wrong, but because your soul has been searching for something deeper than circumstances can provide. My child, please don't leave yet. Because I know what you are thinking. You may wonder, so does this mean nothing in my life matters? No. That is not what I am saying. Your family matters. Your work matters. Your friendships matter. Your dreams matter. They are beautiful gifts, but they were never meant to replace the one who gave them. You were created to enjoy blessings, not to build your identity upon them. Because blessings change, people change, seasons change, circumstances change. Success rises and falls, health comes and goes, but your heart was created for something that does not change, for someone who does not change. My child, have you ever noticed that the emptiness often grows stronger after achieving something you worked so hard for? You finally reach the goal, you celebrate, you feel joy, but only for a little while. Then a quiet question appears, what now? That question is not proof that you are ungrateful. It is proof that your soul was never created to live only from one achievement to the next. Your soul longs for something that lasts longer than a moment, something deeper than excitement, something stronger than emotion, something that remains when everything else becomes quiet. My child, many people spend their entire lives trying to fill a spiritual longing with temporary things. They are not foolish. They are simply searching in places that cannot answer the question their soul is asking. That is why the emptiness keeps returning, not to punish you, not to discourage you, but to gently remind you that your deepest need has never been material. It has always been relational. Not a relationship built on fear, not one built on obligation, but a relationship built on love, a relationship with me. My child, please stay with me here, because I want to tell you something that may surprise you. The emptiness you feel is not evidence that I have moved away from you. Sometimes, it is evidence that your heart has become ready to seek something more. Children do not question the meaning of life, but as hearts mature, they begin asking deeper questions. Why am I here? What truly satisfies? Why do I still feel incomplete? What is my life really about? Those questions are not signs that something is broken. They are signs that your soul is awakening. My child, you have been calling this feeling emptiness, but perhaps it is actually hunger, not the hunger of your body, the hunger of your soul. And hunger is not your enemy. Hunger is an invitation to receive what your heart has quietly needed all along. My child, please don't leave, because in the next part of this conversation, I want to reveal something that may completely transform the way you understand this season of your life. What if this emptiness was never meant to be filled by more of the world? What if it was the quiet place where I have been waiting to reveal what your heart has truly been searching for? My child, stay with me here, because this is the part I wanted your heart to hear most. This is the part that may finally explain what has been happening inside you. You have called it emptiness. You have called it numbness. You have called it tiredness. You have called it confusion. You have called it a strange feeling you could not explain. But my child, what if you have been naming it incorrectly? What if the emptiness you have been trying so hard to escape was not only a problem? What if it was also an invitation from the deepest part of your heart to return to the one who can truly satisfy it? My child, please listen carefully. The emptiness is not your enemy. It is the quiet space where I have been trying to reach your heart. For a long time, your life has been filled with noise, messages, responsibilities, plans, pressure, opinions, distractions, tasks, needs, expectations. So many things asking for your attention. So many things pulling you in different directions. And somewhere beneath all of that noise, your heart began to whisper. But the world was too loud for you to hear it. So the whisper became an ache. The ache became a longing. The longing became emptiness. And now the emptiness has become difficult to ignore. My child, that is not meaningless. That is mercy. Because sometimes the heart must feel what is missing before it becomes willing to seek what is real. My child, do not leave yet, because what I am about to tell you may change the way you look at this entire season. There are times when I allow what cannot satisfy you to stop satisfying you, not because I want to take joy from your life, but because I love you too much to let temporary things become your home. There are things you once used to escape, and they worked for a while. There are places you once ran to for comfort, and they distracted you for a while. There are achievements you once thought would complete you, and they excited you for a while. But lately, they have not been enough. Not because they are all bad, but because your heart is beginning to recognize that it was created for more than temporary relief. My child, this is the big reveal. The emptiness is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that your heart is waking up. It is proof that what once distracted you can no longer deceive you in the same way. It is proof that your soul is beginning to tell the truth. And the truth is this: you were not created to be filled by noise. You were not created to be completed by achievement. You were not created to survive on approval. You were not created to be satisfied by constant distraction. You were created for communion, for closeness, for love that remains, for peace that does not disappear when circumstances change, for my presence. My child, the emptiness has been asking a question your soul already knows how to ask. Where is the one I was made for? That is why nothing else has been enough. That is why even good things have felt incomplete. That is why your heart has felt restless in places where others thought you should feel grateful. That is why you can be surrounded by blessings and still feel hungry inside. Because blessings were never meant to replace the giver. They were meant to lead your heart back to Him. My child, please stay with me. Because I do not say this to shame you. I do not say this to make you feel guilty for enjoying life. I gave you good gifts. I gave you beauty. I gave you friendship. I gave you laughter. I gave you dreams. I gave you moments of joy. I am not asking you to reject those things. I am asking you to stop asking them to become what only I can be. Let blessings be blessings. Let gifts be gifts. Let people be people. Let success be success. But do not ask any of them to become the home of your soul. They were never strong enough to carry that weight. My child, have you noticed how much pressure you have placed on things that were never meant to save you? You expected one relationship to silence your loneliness forever. You expected one achievement to finally make you feel worthy. You expected one answered prayer to remove every question. You expected one change in your circumstances to finally make your heart feel complete. And when those things could not carry the weight, you felt disappointed. Not always because they failed you, but because you asked them to become something they were never designed to be. My child, that is why I am revealing this now. Your emptiness is not there to punish you. It is there to guide you. It is pointing to the place inside you that no created thing can fill. It is pointing to the hunger beneath the habit, the longing beneath the distraction, the ache beneath the activity, the question beneath the silence. My child, what you have been feeling is not random. It is not meaningless. It is not a sign that your life has no joy left. It is a sign that your heart is asking for me more honestly than it has in a long time. Not with perfect words, not with religious language, not with a beautiful prayer, but with a simple ache, and I understand that ache. My child, there are prayers that sound like words, and there are prayers that sound like hunger. There are prayers spoken in church, and there are prayers felt in quiet rooms. There are prayers said with confidence, and there are prayers that rise from a heart that can only whisper, "Something is missing." I heard that prayer, even before you knew it was a prayer. My child, please do not run from this emptiness too quickly. Do not numb it the moment it appears. Do not bury it beneath another distraction. Do not shame yourself for feeling it. Sit with me inside it. Let me show you what it has been trying to reveal. Because when you stop running from the ache, you may finally discover where it was trying to lead you. My child, the emptiness is not the end of your joy. It may be the beginning of a deeper joy. A joy not built on noise. A peace not dependent on circumstances. A closeness not produced by performance. A satisfaction not controlled by what others do or do not give you. My child, this is why I brought you to this message today. Not to tell you that you are broken, but to tell you that you are being invited out of shallow distractions, invited out of endless striving, invited out of the belief that one more thing will finally be enough, invited back to the one your heart has been missing. My child, before we continue, let this truth settle gently inside you. The real reason you feel this way is not because I have abandoned you. It is because I am calling you deeper, deeper than distraction, deeper than routine, deeper than appearances, deeper than temporary comfort, deeper into my presence. And my child, the part of you that feels empty may be the very place where I am about to meet you. My child, stay with me, because now that you understand what your emptiness is, I want to show you what it has been searching for all along. not another distraction, not another achievement, not another answer that lasts only for a moment, but something your soul has quietly longed for since the day I created you. My child, every human heart carries a longing that this world cannot fully explain. Some people spend their entire lives trying to satisfy it without ever understanding what it truly is. They search through success, through relationships, through recognition, through wealth, through comfort, through constant activity, and for a little while, each one seems to promise, "This is what you've been missing." But eventually, the excitement fades. The achievement becomes ordinary. The applause grows quiet. The relationship changes. The season passes, and the same question gently returns. Why do I still feel incomplete? My child, that question is not a sign that your life lacks blessings. It is a sign that your soul was created for something eternal. There is a place inside you that nothing temporary can permanently satisfy, not because temporary things have no value, but because they were never meant to carry the weight of your deepest longing. Only my presence can do that. My child, please hear my heart. I have never wanted to become just another part of your busy life, another item on your schedule, another obligation, another task to complete. I have always desired something much simpler, to walk with you, to be near you, to share every ordinary moment with you. When you laugh, I am with you. When you cry, I am with you. When you succeed, I am with you. When you fail, I am with you. When you understand, I am with you. When you have nothing but questions, I am still with you. My child, you have spent so much energy trying to figure life out before coming to me. But what if you were never meant to figure everything out alone? What if peace was never the reward for having all the answers? What if peace begins the moment you stop carrying everything by yourself? My child, that is what your heart has been searching for. Not more certainty, but more trust. Not complete control, but complete surrender. Not a life without questions, but a life where you no longer face those questions alone. My child, please don't leave yet, because there is something beautiful I want you to understand. Many people believe that my presence removes every difficult feeling. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. But my presence always changes the way you carry those feelings. The burden becomes lighter. The fear becomes quieter. The uncertainty loses its power. The emptiness begins to transform. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because your soul has finally returned to the place where it belongs. My child, imagine a branch that has slowly become disconnected from the tree. It still looks alive for a while. The leaves remain green. The shape remains beautiful. From the outside, nothing seems wrong. But little by little, something begins to fade. Not because the branch is weak, but because it is no longer receiving the life it was created to receive. My child, your soul was never designed to live disconnected from my presence. You can survive for a season. You can even appear successful. Others may admire your strength. They may praise your accomplishments. They may believe you have everything together. Yet inside, a quiet thirst remains. Not because you have failed, but because your heart remembers where life truly comes from. My child, this is why the emptiness has become stronger lately. Not because I have moved farther away, but because your soul has become more honest. It no longer wants substitutes. It no longer wants temporary comfort pretending to be lasting peace. It no longer wants endless noise covering quiet hunger. Your heart has begun longing for something real, and that longing is one of the greatest gifts I have placed within you, because it leads you back to me. My child, do not be afraid of this season. Do not think that because you feel empty, you are spiritually failing. Sometimes, the deepest growth begins when the old ways of finding comfort no longer satisfy you. Sometimes, the greatest blessing begins with holy dissatisfaction, a dissatisfaction that whispers, "There is more, there is something deeper, there is someone I have been missing." My child, that whisper is not your enemy. It is my gentle invitation, not forcing you, not condemning you, simply inviting you. Come closer. Slow down. Be still. Let your heart breathe again. Let me speak into the places you have kept hidden beneath busyness and responsibility. You do not need to impress me. You do not need to perform for me. You do not need to pretend that everything is fine. Bring me your honest heart. Bring me your tired thoughts. Bring me your unanswered questions. Bring me the emptiness itself, because I am not afraid of empty places. I specialize in filling them with life. My child, perhaps you have been asking, how do I make this feeling disappear? But maybe that is not the question your heart truly needs. Perhaps the better question is, what is God inviting me to discover through this feeling? Because when you ask that question, everything begins to change. The emptiness is no longer an enemy to defeat. It becomes a doorway into deeper trust, deeper intimacy, deeper peace, deeper love. A doorway into a relationship that does not depend on circumstances. My child, stay with me just a little longer, because there is one final truth I want to leave with your heart. The emptiness you have been carrying was never meant to become your identity. It was only meant to become the road that brings you back to me. My child, before this message comes to an end, there is one final truth I want you to carry with you, not as pressure, not as guilt, not as another thing you must fix, but as an invitation. The emptiness you feel does not have to remain empty. The place inside you that has felt hollow for so long can become the very place where my presence begins to dwell more deeply. My child, you have tried many things to fill that space. You tried staying busy. You tried being strong. You tried distracting your mind. You tried telling yourself it was nothing. You tried waiting for life to change. And for a while, some of those things helped, but they could not reach the deepest place, because the deepest place in you was never created to be filled by noise. It was created to be filled by me. My child, please hear me carefully. I am not asking you to reject your life. I am not asking you to walk away from every blessing. I am not asking you to stop dreaming, stop hoping, or stop enjoying what I have given you. I am asking you to stop asking created things to become your source. Let your blessings remain blessings. Let people remain people. Let work remain work. Let success remain success. But let me be your home. Let me be the place your soul returns to. Let me be the peace beneath everything else. My child, you do not need to know how to fix this emptiness today. You only need to stop running from it. Bring it to me. Bring me the ache you cannot explain. Bring me the silence you have been afraid to sit with. Bring me the restlessness that keeps returning when everything becomes quiet. Bring me the part of you that whispers, there must be more than this. Because, my child, there is more. More than distraction. More than temporary excitement. More than approval. More than achievement. More than being needed. More than appearing fine. There is a deeper life in me. A quieter peace. A steadier joy. A love that does not disappear when your circumstances change. My child, this is the real reason you feel this way. Not because you are broken beyond repair. Not because your life has no meaning. Not because I have left you. You feel this way because your heart is being invited deeper. Deeper into truth. Deeper into stillness. Deeper into my presence. Deeper into the love you were created to live from. My child, do not be afraid of the empty place anymore. Do not hate it. Do not shame yourself for feeling it. Do not bury it beneath another distraction. Let it become a doorway back to me, a doorway into honesty, a doorway into prayer that does not need perfect words, a doorway into a relationship that does not depend on how strong you feel. My child, if all you can say today is, Lord, something feels empty inside me, say that. If all you can say is, Lord, I do not know what I need, say that. If all you can say is, Lord, I have been trying to fill this without you, say that. Honest words are enough. A tired prayer is enough. A small opening of the heart is enough. Because I do not need you to perform. I only want you to come close. My child, as you leave this message today, do not leave believing that emptiness is your identity. It is not. Do not leave believing that this feeling means your life is meaningless. It does not. Do not leave believing that nothing will ever satisfy your heart. That is not true. You were created to be satisfied in me. And I am still here, still near, still calling, still ready to meet you in the very place you thought was empty. My child, let me fill what the world could not. Let me speak where noise could not. Let me bring peace where distractions could not. Let me meet you where achievement could not. Let me become the answer beneath every answer you have been searching for. And if this message reached your heart today, let your response be simple. Say, Lord, fill the empty place in me. If those are the only words you can offer, they are enough. If your voice trembles, they are enough. If tears come, they are enough. Because this is where deeper healing begins, not when you finally feel perfect, but when you finally stop running and let me meet you in the emptiness. My child, I am here. I have always been here. And the place inside you that feels empty may become the place where you discover me again. Amen.